Hello, people. Welcome to the Meet Mentor YouTube channel. Let's say you have a successful firm. Someone approaches you about buying it. You want to raise more money. You're considering borrowing money, and you need to go get an investment banker. What should you do in this situation? We'll discuss that today. So let's review it. The first of the 7 reasons to hire an investment banker is that a buyer has approached you and expressed interest in purchasing your company. Because you don't know how much your company is worth and don't want to sell it for too little, you should probably hire an investment banker. The second reason to hire an investment banker is that you need to raise capital for expansion. It's not like I'm going to purchase a property and then sell it when it comes to sales. If you want more of this content, like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. A home doesn't usually sell 60 days after you buy it. Instead, it usually takes a bit longer. Capital restraints are a problem for you because you're running an airline, which requires money, and because the airline industry in general needs money. If your business is doing well, but you're growing too quickly, you may not have enough money to keep up, and if you do, your profit margins will suffer because you won't get your money back for 3 or 6 months. As a result, you must go to someone who can raise money. First, do they understand your industry? For instance, if I'm sitting with an investment banker and he specializes in pharmaceutical companies, and the last 20 companies he sold were all pharmaceutical companies, it doesn't matter if he knows nothing about the financial industry because his Rolodex is full of people in that sector. Generally speaking, you want someone who knows your industry well. If you agree that you want someone who knows your industry level, kindly like this video. They might respond, well, let's say your real estate company. We've done real estate deals and we've raised $50 million. And we've also sold a couple real estate companies for $200 million or $300 million. Great, which ones are they? To which you might reply, well, yeah, we've done real estate deals and upwards of raising $50 million and we've also sold a couple real estate companies. They're not a lead, so they're still small to the other guys. So maybe you write down who was the person you were working with. Like, oh, we were working with John, whatever. Okay, got it, perfect. You're starting to learn to see if they're leader on these deals or not, and don't give any stories. Sometimes they're going to say, yeah, we let the whole thing, like, well, you did that. Oh yeah, we let the too few at 25 million, 50 million, and 100 million. So some people's deal sizes are too small, while others are way too large. When I spoke with the investment bankers at Goldman Sachs, they said, listen, our minimum is a $2 billion sale, $3 billion, so great specs that we do. We don't do any specs less than $1 billion. Great. But you're understanding their size, so you don't want somebody that's too big because they'll be so bored selling your property and your business. Let's imagine you have a $1 million property for sale and you don't want to speak with a broker who has never sold a $1 million home. They only sell 400,000 homes, but you also don't want to speak with the realtor who only sells 20 million homes because he isn't interested in the commissions of selling a 1 million home. Hopefully that makes sense. That's why you asked about the size of the deal in question number 4. Are they telling you what you want to hear? Are they telling you what you need to hear? Are they getting too excited? Oh, we're going to get you excited. And I believe we can do much more, as rookie investors and realtors claim, and if you get overexcited, it reflects poorly on you as a novice in a market where you have never dealt with this kind of situation before. Oh my goodness, he said he could get us 20 times 40 EBITDA. Based on what they're doing versus someone saying, I hate that, he's just getting you excited. Do you agree that you should not be carried away or overexcited? Comment below this video. Which numbers do you have? What do you think your business is worth? I don't believe the market is currently paying that. But here's what the market is paying. Look at the comps. This is what it looks like, if your expectations are to receive something similar. How are we going to make that case to reach the desired number when your company isn't necessarily tech-enabled? And you don't have a management team? Oh my goodness. Is that your management team? Who is in your support staff? What software do you use? We could go for a number like this. But if they're only telling you what you want to hear and not what you need to hear, they might not be the guy for you at number 5. Request a list of contacts they intend to approach. For instance, say, Johnny, based on what you know now about our business and how much time you've spent with us, who do you think would be a potential buyer for something like this? Thus, Technical inquiries are the appropriate ones. They must now consider things like, okay, so in regards to your EBITDA, what did your EBITDA look like the last 12 months? For example, so the C-suite executives you've hired. How much experience do you have with your company? How long have they been there? Have they only been there for a month or two, or have they been on for a year? Plus, well, there was okay, there was. This is how it will appear in 24 months, 36 months, and 48 months. Well, that sounds fine. A great investment banker will ask you questions like, what's your top-line revenue looking like? Maybe even though it's going up or your top-line revenue isn't going up. What's the problem there? Are you just trying to figure out ways to make more profit because that don't have to ask the right question? Like the questions that you're hoping, they don't have to ask you because they have to know that the buyer is going to want to know that stuff. So they better know, do they have a strong team supporting them? The main person is someone you want to be able to believe in. But who else is backing them or standing by them so they can say things like, here's what I believe about this, since, sometimes, when you enter a meeting with investment bankers, you'll be greeted by the lead, the co-manager, and one other person. One person is very excited about doing the deal. One person is not excited about doing the deal. And one person knows nothing about the deal, but they're reasonable and they're willing to sit there and talk. This is typically how the dynamics of the three people in the room play out, so it's a form of getting audited, but you want to know who their auditors are. They could remark, I don't think the strategist is going to be interested in your business, since they believe the buyer will be a strategic PE firm or bank. Why? Well, so here's why I don't believe a private equity firm will be interested in your business and why I don't think a bank would purchase something like this intercom. I mean, I think a bank may be it, but I also think private equity and strategy may be advantageous. They'll likely ask you the following 7 questions. Are you prepared for the following 8 questions? Then they'll start asking you questions that a buyer would ask, but you have to know what they think the buyer will look like. For example, they might say, there's probably a 5% chance that's going to be a PE firm, and I think there's a 95% chance that's going to be strategic. Number 10. Understand fee structure. Fee structures work out in different ways. Some may ask for money up front, but money up front may be if you're doing a deal that the commission is going to end up being. Let's see what that looks like in number 9. Ask them why they believe they can do the job, such as why they can go raise the money or do the acquisition. Why can they help you sell the company? If you appreciate our content, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. They're trying to get a $2, $5, $10 million check. So if there's a little bit of money up front, you can negotiate that you don't want it to be too much. You want it to be enough when they're doing the traveling dinner, all that stuff that they have to cover, that part makes sense. $20,000 check for a price for an investment macro means nothing. $50,000 is nothing. Fee structure is the second. Smaller businesses would often earn a greater proportion depending on the arrangement, whereas bigger businesses would typically receive a lesser percentage. I'm a 1%, a 2%, a 3%, and a 4%, for instance. So you can go back and say, I want it to be tiered, so if you sell it between 50 and 100 million, it's this price. Between 100 and 150 million, it's this price. Between 200 and 500 million, it's this price. They'll put their number up there. The earnout is the last but not least. Sometimes the investment banker may want to get all of the money up front even if you, the buyer, have not yet received complete payment from the seller. You may argue that the higher the price you sell it for, the higher the percentage will be, regardless of the tiers you set up. That concludes today's video, then. Give this video a like, comment, and if you found it interesting, subscribe to our channel for more videos with similar themes. Till then, bye. I'll see you in the next video entitled, Startup Companies for $100.